faith, I see the game in braille. Hell's Kitchen got the devil in the details. Red suit, but my sins stay pale. Shadow boxing with my past, never ring that bell. Echoes of crime and the echoes of footsteps. Preaching the streets while I'm dodging the death threats. Halo got horns when the system neglects. Law on my veins, but the pain my pretext. Flip like a coin, heads turn when I'm flipping them. Dancing on the edge, got the reaper in my peripheral. Gospel of the fists, every hit like a parable. Scripture in my stars, every cut unforgettable. Walk with the Lord, but I talk with the sinners. Breaking my bread with the wolves and the winners. Blind to the fear, but I see the pretenders. There with the devil, I dine with Avengers. I've been ready to feast, Hell's Kitchen set the table. Fork in the road, but I'm steady staying faithful. Sins on my plate, but the chef keep it tasteful. Born again, but the city stay fatal.
What's up, people? What is going on? Welcome back. So, for those of you that don't know, we did the whole intro, and Danny even did his where we could find him, and I didn't even go live yet. So, this is second try. We are live, though. Mr. Graham, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
You find me on my channel, The Road to Wisdom, on Mondays and Fridays at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But this week, I'm taking off because I'm out of town, chilling with the fam on vacation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Elihu, where can they find you, sir?
You can find me everywhere and nowhere at the same time, especially on X, Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky, some various YouTube channels. And as your high science guys, a reminder, the Lyrid meteor shower peaks tonight around 2 o'clock in the morning. If you have clear skies, look west and look up. You should see about 18 to 25 meteors per hour.
Yeah, nobody cares. Brian, where can they find you, sir?
I guess you'll find me on YouTube. Oh, no, I'm good.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
First of all, you shouldn't tell everybody. No, we know one knew. It's not a mistake until everyone find out. So he's good. He's still Osiris of it, as he says. I'm Brian the Grizzly, 1/3 of Spoiler Kings. We go live Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Having a good time. Then I talk about football on Sundays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays on Dynasty Pipeline. So
yes, sir. And the man, the baddest hype man in YouTube history, Mr. JG Shallon.
JG Shallon, terrific, the undefeated, undisputed final boss of the 36 Chambers of Shaolin. What? Thank y'all for tuning in for this live Daredevil finale roundtable. Catch me Wednesday nights on the OOC with the host Nzo, aka the Abbott, and the Osiris of the Shit Spliff King, the Professor of Gunja, alongside his co-host Roberto, aka Mr. 100, aka No Trouble Did Anything Gonna Be Irie. No woman, no cry.
Pop.
There we go. And catch out my homie Super Wise doing big things over there on his channel. And my uncle on the GGC doing some big things as well. And of course, y'all know the man. Y'all know his name. You know he's always delivering that good message on a weekly basis. The man with the fashion sense that can turn any pauper into a prince. One of the finest police officers to ever walk these great United States. Here, also these great United States. Simplify himself. Salute, brother. Give him his respect. If you smell what Danny is cooking.
Yeah, I don't have my camera on, so I can't shake my head to your trash ass intro. Like everything is good up until you get to that part.
Man. Now it's a trash intro.
No, because everything is good until you get up to that part. Once you get up to that part at the end, you like exaggerate, and you know what I mean. And I'm just not feeling it. You know what I mean?
Hey, Nzo.
Last night I heard it was crap.
What's that?
So I didn't watch WrestleMania last night. I heard it was pretty crappy.
Wasn't that good?
Wow, you missed wrestling. Wow. Hey, Nzo, I was gonna ask you something. You had something scrolling on the bottom of the ticker. Can you remind all the watchers out there why you have that and who Ashley is?
Yeah, I don't even know why that's on there, to be honest with you.
I'm like, why is that on there? I thought she got her donations.
Yeah, that shouldn't even be there.
With her?
Okay.
I don't know what happened with her.
Oh, that was a while ago.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, that's like years ago.
Oh,
Never changed it. Yeah. But we are here to talk about Daredevil, Born Again, the final episode. Yeah, thank God it's the final episode. But we're going to get into our overalls And Danny, your overall thoughts on this episode, sir?
If I'm being totally honest, it was a little underwhelming. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I still liked it, but it tied off a lot of things for me. Um, one part I thought was extremely stupid, but for the most part, I really liked it. I saw someone earlier today, that said that this Daredevil was not as good as Ben Affleck Daredevil. And I was like,
Whoa.
no way,
Them fighting words.
no way. But far as I wish, and I'm going to keep saying this, I'm going to down this hill. I really like the format that Cobra Kai did. I kind of wish they would have done that. I don't want too much time to get past between first season and second season because people will forget it. And if I'm being totally honest, I've kind of forgot some of this episode, but as I'm talking about now, it's coming back to my memory. But that alone, right there, it's been 1 week, and I've already forgot a good portion of it. So if we wait another year, oh my God. So yeah. I really wish that they would not put so much time in between it. It's probably not going to happen. But overall, I like the series. The episode to me was a little anticlimactic in certain aspects, but I do like the way it tied off certain things, certain questions that I had, and so it was okay.
I got you. All right, Eli. Overall thoughts
on the season or just this episode?
Episode. We're doing
okay. This episode. Okay. It was not one of my favorites. I did like it, but there's some slow parts to it. I am kind of glad I watched the end credit scene, but that's part of my negatives. Overall, it answered some questions, but left some questions there. I'm like, okay, I'll get into that in my likes and predictions.
All right. You know what? Because there's another season coming, I really don't mind them leaving open-ended questions. Just to me, it's the way it was done, right? So that's the issue that I'm pretty much having. JG, overall thoughts?
The first time, it was kind of a breath of fresh air because the last 2 episodes were probably the best of the season. But it just didn't feel like a finale to me.
Mm-hmm.
It just, I don't know. It was good. I liked it, but it was just, I don't know. Like my caption says, I felt like I was serving leftovers, not a freshly cooked steak. Right, so and like I said, it was a good episode, but it was just I don't know.
All right, Brian, overall thoughts?
It was a mid-season finale. That's what it was. It was had some decent parts. It was okay, a lot of violence, but this is the violence that we wanted to have in episode 5, 6, 7. So it's a mid-season finale. So if you're going to do this, you do this with a long season, not when what you just did. Or just call it season 1, part 1. That's what they should have done. Because they didn't, people are going to have problems with it. And at the end, you look back and say, oh, it wasn't as great as I thought. And it's exactly what me and you said was going to happen for this finale. Except he did put on the mask. So.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And okay, so I'm right there with you guys. I don't think it was a terrible episode, but again, for a season finale, it just and I was hoping that this episode would have made the episode before better for me, and it really didn't. It didn't really make it better for me. Now I get it. He got shot in the shoulder, and it was okay, and he got up and he fought, and I get it, but I really thought, like Brian said, it felt like a mid-season finale, and you're waiting for the Christmas holiday to end, and then boom, it's gonna come back again, and then we're gonna get the rest of it, right? And I will get that I'll do that with my negatives. But overall, it was an okay episode, but I didn't like it. Let's just put it that way. We'll get into our positives though, because definitely there were some positives in this episode. I'm gonna start with you, Brian, on the other end. What were your positives for this episode?
I mean, the violence was off the chain. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Kingpin, when he crushed the dude's head, I was like, man, that was amazing. Positive once again, we got Daredevil finally get back into the suit. We got him doing the stuff with Punisher. I mean, we got a lot of things, that we wanted to see in episode 7 or 6. We got a lot of those things. I thought that they did a good job wrapping up some storylines, but really left a lot open ended. I feel like the whole thing with Vanessa kind of fizzled a little bit, but overall was a good thought. The episode itself was fine. So I mean, I don't have any outstanding parts, but it was well put together, just not for a finale.
I got you. JG, what are your positives?
To mirroring what Brian said, I was curious about how far Disney Plus would allow them to go as far as the violence and gore, and they went there. It shocked me. John Bernthal, can't say enough of him as Punisher. He stole every scene he was in from me. His violence, especially when they're in the apartment fighting, and Matt's like, no, he's like,
don't kill him,
Frank's just shooting people like, what? Easy, like bam, bam. Like it's not like their whole dialogue they had with each other during the fight. After the fight is dude, they need their own movie like Wolverine and Deadpool. They need a movie like that. Let's see what else. I did kind of like the kind of unspoken love triangle that they have with Karen. That it was kind of cool. Like I said, Kingpin of violence. Like I said before, I was shocked that Disney allowed them to go that far with it. Fight scenes are quite cool. Explosions. Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
They have they set up next season. I feel like this entire finale was about setting up next season 2. The entire thing.
I agree. 100%. Anything else, JG?
Yeah, I was gonna say, shit, I forgot now. Go ahead. No, you're good. Go ahead.
All right. Eli, what are your positives?
As an astronomer, I was shocked that they actually got the night sky right over New York. I'm like, I had to take a double look. I'm like, wait, is that Pycron? Is that Cirrus? Yep. So whoever was the astronomer or advisor on that actually got the night sky right over New York if there was no light pollution. I'm like, I love that part. Like, thank you. That was personal for me.
Were you high when you watched this episode? Because ain't nobody noticed the skies and like, what were you like? Oh wow, look at the sky! It's amazing,
dude. It freaked people out in New Orleans in 2006 when the power went out and the Milky Way was visible. And people were freaking out, like, "What the hell is that? What the hell is that?" Like, it's the Milky Way galaxy. It's rare as you can see if there's no light pollution. I'm like, this is what the night sky actually looks like in New York. I was
Translation,
impressed.
Yes, I was high. Go ahead, Eli.
Yes. I'm a nerd who's a stoner, okay? The nuance of Vanessa, oh my gosh. Her character is becoming more and more evil because she's getting manipulated by Kingpin himself. He's not only manipulating the city, he's manipulating the people around him. I love this. He's no longer the mayor of New York. He's the Kingpin of New York. Full white suit is back. I'm like, yes, they finally embedded in the comic books. Unlike what they did with Secret Wars and Hawkeye show, I'm like, yeah, but this is actually a comic book adaptation, purest form. I'm like, perfect. I love it. I finally got the answers about why was Foggy shot. I'm like, okay, Red Hook, the International. I'm like, I get it. It's kind of strange how it's mirroring the current politics. This was written a year and a half ago. I'm like, this is kind of like Simpsons here, getting his loyalists around, encampments, preventing people who is not loyal to him, traitors. I'm like, oh my gosh, I see a little mirror here of current politics. How the hell did they Simpsonize this? Let's see what else. Yeah. Thank you, Marvel, for going back to the tradition of a mid-credit scene. As soon as the credits start, I always hit end. I'm like, okay, it's a TV show. It's not a movie. Boom. I actually let the credits watch. I went to go get a cup of coffee, and all of a sudden I heard a little noise in the background. I'm like, oh, mid-credit scene. Cool. What's this? A little lead up to the next season? Nope. That's part of my negative.
Well, okay. So from what I heard with the end credit scene, It's actually leading up to like a
Season 2.
45-minute. No, it's a 45-minute Punisher
Punisher?
series where he
Yeah.
escapes from that spot. So
Yep.
that's why they
Yeah.
put it in. So
Yeah, but there's also a negative in that part I got to talk about.
yeah,
I didn't like
no problem.
the fact that they had a mid-credit
Well-
scene and the cool breakout, how he did, but I'm like, there's a negative about that. I'm going to talk about that.
There's definitely a negative about that.
Yeah.
100%. Like
Yeah.
what? Like
What?
why the hell are you?
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
negatives, dude. Yeah.
Like,
Oh, like, what the hell?
that
Okay,
was it was stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but it was stupid. It was dumb.
I'm sure Danny was going to talk about that a lot, so hey.
Danny,
Danny, it's your turn.
Yeah, what are your positives, Danny?
I definitely like the violence that we saw in it. I like the fact, and I think I said this a few weeks ago, that Kingpin knew the whole time what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
He was playing
Mhm.
chess, and she was playing checkers, and they kind of fumbled the storyline, but she didn't. I don't think she knew that place had that little protection, but Kingpin knew it. That's why he was so eager to buy that particular lot, because she's like, "Why are you doing this? Let me do that." But Kingpin already figured out that paper, but they gave her the credit for killing Foggy. But I don't think she knew actually just how good that place was, that it couldn't be touched. But Kingpin knew that.
Mhm.
I like how he always seems to be three or four steps ahead of everybody else. I really like the fact that he was just like being a chameleon. Okay, I'm gonna act like I've been beaten. I'm gonna act like I'm gonna eat this way, and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do all that. When he actually he was just being a chameleon. He knew what he was gonna do. He knew showing like he was weak and civilized was a part of the persona to fool people, and it worked perfectly. I definitely like. I think JG said this. I think they should definitely try to greenlight a Daredevil and Punisher movie
Mm-hmm.
or series or something. I prefer to see a movie. I think it'd be even more popular than Wolverine and Deadpool, because their chemistry, fighting, it was more buddy cop, but it wasn't a comedic buddy cop. It was a more serious. But to me, it reminded me a little bit more a more serious version of Tango and Cash. And
What up, Tony?
huh?
Bring more like a
No, I was just saying, what up, Tony? But go ahead, Danny. Sorry.
I would definitely want to see that movie. I would pay to see that movie. I'm trying to think. I just really like how Kingpin was fooling the people of New York to get him to do that kind of stuff when he actually had his whole thing planned from start to finish. So it was fantastic writing.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Wow,
Writing
is
in
that
this-
actually proof that Chris has his computer fixed? Look at that background.
Yeah, he's been had a fist.
He's been doing this, man. He's been doing a good job.
Yeah, you see, this is what happens when you smoke weed. You forget a lot of things, right? And
Forget what?
It's been like two
He said
two
the day
weeks.
after 420.
Yeah.
I mean,
Forget what?
I admit the fact that it's still running after a couple of these streams, and I guess you have kind of a get out of jail free card in this one. But remember, it is fixed. I can get back on, and so just
Yes, sir.
I want to see that card of yours there, Elihu. Highest guy. That's pretty funny.
Meredith said ego. Yes, the ego is back. Chris, tell the people where they can find you. Give your overalls, and you can mix it with your positives if you want.
And by the way,
Bill-
Chris, the full image is on X, Blue Sky, and Instagram.
Just send it to me on it.
Okay,
in a message.
okay, fine.
That's all I want.
Okay.
That way I have a new avatar thing I can use when we get back to the Rumble for the loser. It'll be your card. It's like, hey, look, it's like the death card. It'll be like, look, it's the loser card. I mean, I'm just...
No, that's actually a perfect idea. I'll do that. You talk.
That's horrible. Anyways, Real Review 3000, Chaos Central, sometimes on Danny Graham's channel, The Road to Wisdom, and, of course, Bigger Ford Entertainment. That's where you can find me. We're going to be finishing up. I think we got 3 more weeks of The Masked Singer, so we're doing Unmasking the Masked Singer shorts right now. I'm still working on getting OBS up and running and finding all my backgrounds and everything again. It's been a while, so. But other than that, my overall thoughts of this is, I won't say underwhelming, but certainly pedestrian. How about that? Pedestrian in a lot of ways. I think it was good. In a lot of ways, just where were you going to go? Because there wasn't much really there was nowhere really to go with this fully. Positives, the writing, where we all thought Kingpin was going to say, hey, I can't go after this guy now. I don't want to be a vigilante. I don't want to be a vigilante. I don't want to be a vigilante, but I can't go after him. He saved my life. No, that's good writing. When so many times you have Disney Plus shows go exactly where you think they're going to go, and they went the complete opposite side, and he didn't skip a beat. No, go kill him. Make him kill him as a hero. Just kill him. Let's be done. He can die a hero. That's my gift to him. He can die a hero, but not a vigilante. And he said that, and that was a really good way of saying, I'll let him be the hero, but I'm not going to let him be the hero of the city. I'm going to be the hero that saved me, because I'm the focus of all this. So that was it was done very slyly and very craftily. So I like that. I love the Punisher stuff. I'm not sure if I like. I'll wait. Sorry. Yep. I like the Punisher stuff. I liked the Daredevil and him fighting in the apartment together. I still think, and I still like the subtle nods to that Muse may not be dead. There's nods there that could be clues. We could be wrong, but I do like how they're still teasing it. And I'll leave it at that. You're muted.
My bad. All right, cool. Eli, your positives.
I gave my positives. You're stoned.
You're done. You're next.
Dude, you are stoned and drunk.
You are
as one of
stoned,
the
man. You changed the time. You forgot
So
to
wait.
hit live.
Eli,
dude.
you're next. Eli, you're next. Eli.
So wait, everybody gave their positives?
Yes.
Dude.
Hey,
Stoners.
Nzo, I got one thing to say.
Still
Was that
420?
I got one thing to say. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, me and Chris picked Lost, so I'm picking another one. I'm picking Boogie Woogie
Boogie Woogie for what?
for the Mass
You
Singer
muted,
winner.
Chris.
No. His lost. Mine's still in.
No, you picked Paparazzo too.
No, I didn't. No, I said I think Paparazzi's going home, and he did. I said
we have the receipts. When did we say it? We have the receipts.
Yeah.
Danny, go check out the receipts. Because I remember him kind of agreeing with you. He said somebody else, but he did agree with you on
No.
that.
I said I think he might, but I said I
Roll
don't
the
think
tape.
he's got it.
Yeah.
But no, I said
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
When Nzo asked me to pick one, I picked Mad Scientist Monster.
Danny,
He
remember
did.
what episode it was? Okay, he did. Okay, I got you.
But
All right, yeah, go.
But I do think Boogie Woogie has the best chance.
I got you. All right, so positives for this episode. There's really not much. I did enjoy some of the fighting. Again, it's Daredevil, you know what I mean? So when you get Daredevil fighting and doing the Punisher stuff, it's pretty good. Of course, the acting is always on point as well with this episode. The writing is pretty good too, again. And I'll go with Chris because at the same time, I thought Kingpin was going to have some sort of conflict with Daredevil saving him. You know what I mean? It seemed like he was going to be like, oh, well, I can't do this, but I can. And it was like, nope, there he said, we're going to kill him anyways, So I did enjoy that. That was something that I thought was, okay, that makes a lot of sense. It's Kingpin. You got to be Kingpin. And it doesn't matter if he saved you or not. I'm still Kingpin and Daredevil's still going to die. So I enjoyed that part. I thought that was pretty good too as well. When you see, and I guess this would be kind of a negative too, so I'll wait until I bring up the negatives for that one. But what else did I like? So I get what you guys are saying with the Muse stuff, and it could be a possibility. I just think that they're moving on to it, moving on from it. They're going to go a different direction because it's the different writers and they know what they want to do. It's a possibility that it could come back, but at the same time, I'm kind of, and I guess I'll say the fact that we still kind of have that open is good too. You know what I mean? The fact that we still not 100% sure that Muse is completely dead. Now they said in the show he's dead. They did their thing. Kingpin fake said he was there and that did it, but there's a possibility that maybe he was a fake Muse. So if they go that route, I'm okay with it. But just for me, I feel like they're going in a different direction. That's
Well, they said he was officially going to return in season 2.
They said that, but they also said that before the new writers came in and changed everything.
What
You know what
if
I mean?
what if it's the Doctor? What if Heather becomes, they make it a female Muse, and because she's so messed up from the whole experience and what Fisk is doing to her, what if she becomes the Muse?
She has shown no artistic talent in the past, so no.
Yeah,
No,
I don't
to the
I don't really
point
want to see that.
to the point of being confirmed to come back. And Kingpin saying he was dead. Well, if Kingpin knows, for instance, if this is all a ruse and he knows, then he may have just said no, he's dead, and just left it there because he's using his right hand guy to do things.
And using Daniel. So
yeah, but here's the problem though. Even Kingpin doesn't want any vigilantes around, right? Because even though Bullseye was kind of working for him, he wanted Bullseye dead too. So he doesn't want any vigilantes around. So he can't know that this guy is Muse because then he'll want him dead too, right?
Maybe because
no, 100% because he wanted Bullseye dead.
I know, I understand that, but how about the fact that perhaps because what's his name that we think is Muse,
Daniel Blake.
Yeah, if he ends up being his right hand, well, he is his right hand man. But here's the thing: if it's his vigilante, it's okay. Because again, anything that he does that he decides is okay. So he can break his own rules. Excuse me,
as long as he works for him.
Yeah, but exactly. Bullseye was Vanessa's, right? So he could have used it that way too.
Yeah, but they already had prior relationship too. They also had issues already before.
And not to get political, but it's much like how Trump does things. Oh well, I just decided I was going to change it, so that makes it okay. I mean that's how Kingpin is.
I don't buy that.
I kind of went along that way, Chris.
I
don't buy that.
You don't have to buy it. I mean, I understand that that's a theory that we're working on, so it's fine. I understand you don't buy it. Okay.
Yeah, we'll get into the negatives real quick because that's all I really have for the positives. Danny, we'll start with you. Let's get into your negatives, brother. You there, Danny?
He's on vacation. Wake up.
Okay, so maybe Danny stepped away. Chris, you go if Danny's, and then we'll go back to Danny.
Again, I don't like, and I know Frank has done it before, just walked into Impossible Odds. But he walks into Impossible Odds with cops, even if they're crooked.
It was stupid.
I did not like how that was written. It's like, I don't think he would have walked in there like that. I think he may have listened more, if it was written right, I think he may have listened more to Matt and said, okay, well, fine. This has to be taken care of. And I'll go in there with you, and we're done then. I'm done because I did something for you. Now you can come and help me with this mess or whatever. I didn't like it. And then he kind of just, there was a fight, but it just didn't feel like him fighting. It just felt like he held back too much. And I mean, maybe, I don't know. I just did not like that whole part of that scene.
Actually, Chris, that scene was kind of critical because if you actually take a look at it, Frank is trying to track down the rogue cops, and this was his way of getting into it to find the location. So he gave up. He willingly gave up. It's like, okay, take me. That's how I looked at that scene. That's how I looked at the scene.
I understand that. The execution was poor. Because there was no... how do I put this? there should have been some sort of exposition to let us think that's what he was doing. Whether or not he said it outright. At the end, we see pretty much that he was probably setting it up to get in there, make them all fall asleep, make them all fall asleep and think he was caught. But I guess I just didn't like the execution of that whole side of it. But whatever. I mean, again, ground control to Maze of Time, yeah. But I would say that's the biggest problem I had with this. Other than that, I didn't really have too many issues. Matt got a shoulder shot, so that didn't make too much of a difference. He's had worse. He's had stab wounds. He's been thrown into dumpsters. I mean, I think it was the second episode of the first season. I've mentioned it before. Third episode, whatever, where he's literally on death's door and he still goes and saves a girl in that episode. But anyways, I mean, that's about my biggest problem was just it didn't seem like something he would have done, even if his plan were to get caught.
I got you. Danny, what were your negatives for this episode?
I'm finally on y'all side. Matt girlfriend, she really makes me sick. You know, she looks good. I thought the person going into that with no kind of plan did not make sense to me at all. I don't understand why he even did that, because he is probably one of the most tactically sound anti-heroes in the Marvel universe. I don't know why he did that. That made no sense to me.
I don't think you heard what I was telling Chris, Danny. I think it was planned because he was trying to track down the road cops, and this was his way of getting into them and finding them. It's like, okay, here I am. I'll do a little fight to actually make a little rogue fighting scene, then boom. You got me.
I hear you, but he's smarter than that. We've seen in all the Punisher episodes we ever seen that he makes plans it out very well till he not to like get his ass kicked and lose all of his stuff. Like he figures out a better way of doing that. And he could have.
Yeah. There was no guarantee they wasn't gonna kill him. That's crazy.
And that's what I'm saying. Execution. I understand what you're saying, Elihu. And I'm not saying that wasn't the plan in the script. It's the execution. His execution would have been much different on how he would have done that, even if his plan was to get caught.
And I agree with you, because he would have scoped it out. He didn't even know how many cops were in there, right? He just walked in all willy-nilly, right? He would have scoped it out for a week or two, found out which cops are there, get the best exit, you know what I mean? And all kinds of stuff. And to me, it just felt like his plan. And when we get to the end credit scene, it just feels like his plan was all coincidence. You know what I mean? Like the way he got out and everything. Coincidence. Because if a guy doesn't do what he does, he's stuck in that cell. And any regular person is not putting their hand in there. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's my issue. But go ahead, Danny.
Yeah, you guys are like, oh, he isn't gonna do that. I'm like, yeah, that's the type of it's like 1 second they write really well, like they do the Kingpin wants to kill him, and the next second, dude, this is horrible horror movie type stuff. Don't go in there, don't do it. Oh no, he's going in there. I told you not to go in there.
Yeah. Danny, you could continue, Danny.
Yeah, I didn't like the fact that that end scene credit was the dumbest thing I ever seen in my life. I mean, like, bro, you got the most dangerous.
Thank you.
Known in New York. You know his body count. And what are you gonna do? You're gonna go up close to him. That's like a fly flying into a Venus flytrap. I thought it was very stupid. That was basically a plot device just to get him out.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one other thing I thought was stupid too.
Hey Danny, I want to ask you something about that scene.
Huh?
I want to ask you something about that scene, the mid-credit scene.
And okay, now he was talking junk to them, like, y'all don't know my pain, y'all don't know all this kind of stuff, this, that, and the other. And then this fool gonna fall for him being flipping the switch, being nice, like, yeah, man, yeah.
Frank asked him, you know about me, right? And the cop asked, yeah, okay. Why would a police officer know that? Okay, this guy's a cop killer. Why would he willingly shake his hand? I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. And
I'm sorry. I'm like,
and the thing too, they didn't tie up White Tiger.
Look at your phone.
Agreed.
They did nothing.
What?
He did all that stuff. We don't know what. We don't know. We suspect who killed him, but I don't think that guy killed him. I think the really bad cop killed him, the one that put the guy face in the grease.
Look at your phone.
Interesting.
I don't think that black guy that he killed in the apartment was the one that killed White Tiger, but I could be wrong.
Could be possibility.
I just thought it was stupid.
Anything else?
No, that's about it.
He didn't kill that. He didn't kill that guy because Matt stood in front of him. It's when the other one, he's like, "Who should?" Then he's like, "Well, then who should I kill?" And he goes and kills another guy. I don't think he killed the.
No, but I'm saying when the bomb went off, that guy got.
Yeah, the bomb went off. Yeah,
that's right. It did, didn't it?
Yeah, the bomb went off. He was still stuck there. All right, Eli, negatives. All right.
Sorry, I was being spammed by Chris for a second.
Go ahead. Negative.
Well, Danny kind of
blame me if you can't do two things at one time.
I am doing two things at one time. Texting you back. Well, Danny kind of helped cover the end credit scene. Yeah, that was really, really stupid. Negatives, more negatives about it. Yeah. More negatives about that is what the hell was Matt thinking about going back into the apartment when the cops entered? He escaped. Frank escaped. Boom. You're safe. Why did you bother going back in? That's a cool fight scene, but why did you bother going back in? The cops go in, I'm like, okay, nobody's here. We can leave. I'm like, you guys already escaped? That was so stupid to go back in the apartment. I'm like, why? Yeah. And during that fight scene, it is totally out of character for Matt to let Frank kill so many cops like that. He's like, Frank, don't do that. Like, stop, don't, no, Frank. Now, what the hell is wrong with you, Matt? You're letting Frank be Frank when you're not supposed to. You're supposed to be as conscious when you're fighting alongside of him. You're not letting him do kill it willy-nilly, injure, kill it willy-nilly. No, you're supposed to injure, stop him. You're his conscious during a fight. That was not a perfect Daredevil Punisher fight scene in that apartment. I did not like that characterization between those two interactions. No. But the action in the fight scenes, yes. I love the characterization. I love the stunt coordination and everything else. But the characterization between those two guys, no, that was not Daredevil and Punisher fighting. I'm sorry.
Elihu.
Yes.
You ever been in a war before?
No, I've never been in war.
Okay. If you fighting for your life, you ain't got time to be somebody else conscious and shooting and dodging bullets and keeping that other individual from doing what he got to do. As long as we both walk out there together, I don't care who he killed. At the end, I can criticize him and say, look, man, you should have done that. But guess what? He's still breathing. So I'm giving him a pass on that one.
There was 3 times when there's pauses when Matt could have jumped in front of him or stopped him and knocked the gun out of his hand. No, he let him fire. I'm like, this is not the character. This is not what the hell's going on here. He's letting him do this.
I mean, he tried to stop him a couple of times, though. So
yeah, there was like 3 instances where there was a pause, and Matt could have knocked the gun out of his hand or jumped in front of him to stop him from shooting. But no, he just stood there.
You're not wrong, but he's also injured. And that's why you shouldn't have had him injured during the finale. But,
right.
So there's things that he had to make better decisions because, like, okay, well, if I do this, I lose my help, and I'm half powered right now, so I have to accept some of this stuff.
Oh yes, I'm going to accept it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Anything else, Eli?
There was one other thing, but I can't remember it. If I remember, I'll say it again.
Cool. JG, negatives.
Heather not dying is a negative. She's getting on my nerves. She's really getting on my nerves. But no, that was a little joke, but serious at the same time. It was a joke. Let's see. A lot of times I get tired of these heroes' moral code, right? Because one of the main things that made Matt become Daredevil again was the death of Hector. You have the guy that is assumed killed Hector right there in front of you. I'm with Frank. Do it, man. Do it. Kill him. We can't, like, dude, I get so sick of that. I get so tired of it, but I get it. That's his character. But
that's the same thing that some people like. I didn't have a problem with Superman killing Zod because he had no choice, in my opinion. And when he kills Zod in Man of Steel, everybody lost their shit about it. It's like, wait a minute. He was saving people. He was doing what he wanted. And the pain he shows in that scene when he does it shows you that he didn't want to do it. So if something like that were done, I've been okay. But if he had just turned around and shot him, no. Or killed him, no. There has to be some real emotional moment of where I don't want to do this. This isn't me. But then he just still does it because he felt that was the need or something.
Episode 1, where he just throws him off the building. He's like,
but that moment wasn't there. I don't think so.
Yeah. All right, Eli, go ahead. Continue. Anything else?
no,
it was JG. Sorry, JG.
Yeah,
go ahead.
go ahead, Brian. I just kind of lost my thought. Go ahead, Brian.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Doing negatives, JG. Negatives.
I know.
Anything else?
I was in the sequence. I was lost it. So fuck it. Go ahead.
I got you.
As a negative, I think this is one of the worst written episodes of the entire season. I think they actually did a bad job with the storytelling overall. I think every episode it was great writing in every episode, except this one. I thought that they did a bad job with trying to wrap up storylines because they're trying to rush. So like the idea with Heather or even Vanessa, I think they could have did more with Vanessa, right? I think they went down this alley, and then all of a sudden to wrap it up, you just say, "Oh, she's okay with everything." Well, I think what you guys were saying about Vanessa would have been more entertaining, but that she was really making a bid to be Kingpin. That would have been a more interesting type of storyline. But no, they just kind of say at the end, she's just, "Oh, well, I'm okay with everything, how everything goes." I think that was a bad job. I think the idea, because they want to make chaos, they used the blackout. That is a plot device if I've ever seen it. They use like they just said, okay, well, we're just gonna throw a blackout there because we don't know how the hell to get this stuff going. Like it's not well written. I think they used a lot of violence, which I love the violence, but they used the violence because they didn't have a good story. So they just said, okay, instead of me figuring out what the hell's going on, I'm gonna use more violence. So maybe people forget that then this shit makes sense. This is not what Frank does. This is not what he would look at it and say, I will come back at them in a different way. I'm going to follow them. I'm going to figure out a different way. They just use violence to kind of get people to forget that shit don't make sense. Like it's a lot of little things when you start looking at it and you're like, wow, you guys were just trying to finish up a season. Hurry up, because it's not supposed to be a finale. This was not supposed to be a season finale. And that's the issue.
Yeah.
I remember the other negative I had.
I got another one too.
Go ahead, Danny. Eli first. And
Eli, go first.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Well, when what's her name was, I forgot her name. She was basically recording the commissioner threatening to go to the governor, and Fisk overheard that and squashed his head. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the same thing kind of happened with the young punk kid, second in command, threatening every single member of the city council. What's stopping them from going to the governor? I'm like, wait, what the hell is the point of this conversation? They can go to the governor too. They know this.
No, he can't, because he had dirt on him.
They can still go to the governor, and the governor can grant them immunity from this.
Yeah, but he went to them early and told them, like, he threatened their family. He threatened, like, I'll kill the businesses. I'll kill everything. So he kind of touched them first. The commissioner, I think you really couldn't touch it because he seemed to be without, any things that you can. He was, without any.
It's called. They have several staff members. They can relate to a staff member, be a whistleblower to the governor's office. Something can get communicated. I'm like, that point of the system of telling you guys, no, I got dirt on you. Stop it. You cannot do anything. Like, well, we got staff. We can get whistleblower protection for the governor. Hello, did you not think of that, kid? Like, that was a stupid scene for me. I'm sorry.
It's a comic book movie, Eli.
I know, but still, they play it like it's real political in New York, real political scene, like political red tape, all that shit, stuff. Like, hey, you want to be politically accurate?
You
Get better
said that,
writers.
but look at this. Look at what the reality. What happens here now?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know. Like I said, did they Simpsonize it?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Finish, Eli.
Denny. Yeah, Denny. What did you remember?
They had a missed opportunity whenever
Oh.
Karen and Matt was in behind that bar. They should have had the defenders waiting there for them, not these regular Joe Schmo people.
Facts.
Thank you. Yes.
That would have been a perfect time to introduce them. You could have seen Iron Fist. You could have seen Jessica Jones. You could have seen the person that won't be named because two people on here hate on him.
Hey, he took over the club, man.
It would have been a perfect time to do a Defender season 2. Maybe to tie this in and hold us over until we see Daredevil. It is, to me, it was a missed opportunity. It didn't make sense. Those people in that who were in that because Cherry, I like Cherry, but Cherry,
what the hell is he gonna do?
He's trying to be holier than thou. But look, and Matthew said a good point. Before he knew he was Daredevil, he was calling him all the time. Now he knows he's Daredevil. Now he grew a conscience. But that would have been a perfect time. And I know they can't do this, but it would have been a perfect time to introduce like Spider-Man or something, or maybe have him on the phone like he talking to him. Hey, this Peter, or this is Spidey.
No,
something they could have.
No, but they should have had Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and Iron Fist. That should have been who there, or at least had what's her name?
Angelica with
But they could have had a cop with
the White Tiger girl.
Her name? The cop that got the bionic arm that was in Luke Cage.
Ooh, Misty Knight.
Oh, Misty.
Knight.
Yeah, but who were you saying, Brian? Could have came?
I was thinking more. Who's the girl that connects them all? She's in every episode of every show.
Talking about Echo?
Oh, no, the one Rosario Dawson's character. No,
Rosario Dawson's character.
Oh, the doctor. The doctor.
I can't remember her name right now.
The
nurse who's in with all of them. Even her, I have friends. She could be in there and said, "I have friends I could call." That way,
Claire.
you can just give people Claire. That's it.
Thank you, Tony.
That was it. Oh man, I'm saying, but you could have had her and say, "I have some friends who might be willing to join into this fight." That's it.
Agreed.
You wouldn't have had to do anything else. You could have just had that, and then that people would be like, "Oh my God, the Defender's going to be in it." You would have had something to wait for. People have been looking for.
And then you could have recast Mike Coulter, and we would have had a good Defender team. Right? So, yeah, 100%.
Hey, he was a good Luke. Okay,
he was.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. Sweet Christmas.
I'm
doing dabs crap.
JG has hung around Nzo so long that now he is becoming Nzo. I would never.
How?
I want to hate on one person.
You are
Mike Coulter. I want to hate on.
Now you're gonna be everything.
Dwayne
The Rock.
Mike Coulter. Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson. I will never refer to him as that. Dwayne Johnson.
I'm just saying though.
I try to smell it, but I can't smell what you're cooking with Michael Cole.
No, JG's usually not on point, but with this, he's on point. Like I can't disagree with JG on this.
No.
But see, I would say this: as far as the Defenders, Harlem is right down the street from Hell's Kitchen. Basically, you could have had Mike Coulter. At least blurred out in the background or something.
Yeah.
You could have had them meet at the club.
Exactly.
They could have met that meeting at the club. Like,
Echo is like a link between Daredevil and Kingpin in a way, right? She would have been perfect.
Yep.
Did you guys notice the
Defenders or something? I don't know.
Sorry.
Or they
Did you guys notice the
old Bushmaster?
What's that, Danny?
Or they could have flashed to Jamaica and have him calling up old Bushmaster back.
It would have been nice, but Bushmaster's bad though. Like, right, you know. I don't even remember what happened at the end. Didn't Bushmaster die?
No, the medicine messed him up so bad he had to go back to recuperate.
Yep, he had to go back home.
Okay,
that's right. They didn't want to get rid of him.
I don't remember because Mike Coulter. That's why. But who else was going?
Bushmaster because he whipped Luke Cage for most of the season.
He did. He knocked him around all season.
Yeah, Bushmaster was fire. It's just, and the Jamaican was on point too. It's just the rest of it. You know what I mean? Like the rest of that series. But yeah. So for me, okay, and I know here's one because nobody talked about it, but I didn't really like it when Kingpin crushed the dude's head. You know what I mean? Like this show is supposed to be like, I don't know. It seems like it's supposed to be more in reality, but then you do something like that where it's like, okay.
They didn't have good writing,
CGI
so they had to
too.
do violence to get away from the writing. They didn't have a
Yeah,
good
you
reason
didn't,
how to do it, so they had to put more stuff out there.
and you didn't see the actual head squash, just the remnants of his hands coming together and blood squirting. I'm like, that was mild violence. That's how they got away with it.
Well, no, they
No, he saw his whole face,
No,
his face, and his
his
eyes
top is
popping out of his
full,
face.
Yeah.
jaw ripped out.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I was
Hey,
thinking
have
something
you
else.
seen-
Sorry.
Have you seen Blade Runner?
Yeah.
That's it.
Which
Look
one?
pretty cheesy. I mean, I agree with
The first one.
Hold on,
In the-
Danny. What were you saying?
I
'Cause
said I
Danny's
agree with
reading-
you. It didn't look good. It looked pretty
Yeah.
cheesy.
I got you.
Yeah, there were some fails on it.
Okay, what were you
the
saying
way-
about Blade Runner, Chris?
Well, the way they did it in Blade Runner, the first one, and I know it's not everybody's cup of
Oh,
tea,
he
but-
crushed the guy's head
yeah, he crushes his
Yeah.
head and he's putting his fingers through there.
on
They
his eyes.
used-
Yeah.
Yeah, they used like tubes with blood that squirted up and out, and they didn't show much. They kind of did it and then did the noise. That would have worked. That would have been a lot better. Show the
Mhm.
beginnings of it and then just hear
Mm-hmm.
and that's all. But no, that I mean, I applaud them for trying it. The look of it got what it was going for, but it did. I guess it's a bad pun. It did kind of fall apart.
100%. And for me, okay, so I get it. We had different writers, and it felt like that. These last two episodes felt like a totally different series than what we've been watching. Right now, again, we still don't know what's going on with Muse, whether it's a fake one or whatever. But what they did with him so far, to me, he was a wasted character. Right until you do something else and bring him back. It was
They
definitely-
nerfed Muse. I'm sorry. They
No one's
nerfed him
gonna-
bad.
disagree with that.
Yeah, it was definitely wasted. Now, if he comes back, they do something else with him, okay, it wasn't really him, whatever. But at this point, I'm just saying, from what I've seen, definitely wasted character. You could have took out the middle half of this season,
Look at your
went
phone.
from episode 2 to episode 8, and you wouldn't have really missed a beat. Now, obviously, you're going to add a few things
But
in there to
need
get story
7.
context. Huh?
You need 6 or 7, right? Because it's the first time you see him in
Look at your-
Oh, yeah, the suit. Yeah, the suit. Well, that's what I'm saying. We need to get him in the suit.
You can take out 8 though. Go take out 2 through 5 and take out 8 and put those together, those 4 episodes together, and it will have been a full season. Everything that happened will still happen in those 4 episodes.
I would
Pretty
agree.
much.
You could take out the bank episode, but the rest of them.
I like the bank.
I mean, White Tiger didn't end up being anything.
Look at your 5.
Yeah,
I like-
White
You,
Tiger.
you ordered some dim sum over there?
Yeah, I know. What's
It's not like
keep
something you
hearing
said,
some-
shut up and buy. That's what I keep hearing for some
You
reason.
said, "Look at your phone. Look at your phone."
It's probably my fault.
I got you. You know,
Probably it is. I'm getting a notification from the group chat from Chris.
That's how you know I'm back on my computer.
Yeah, I'm getting spammed again. I'm trying to mute it. I'm like, shit.
So yeah, so for me, that's that too. What else did I didn't like about this episode? Okay, so some of the Punisher thing, like we touched on a little bit. His plan made no sense. And then he goes into the end credit scene and he's like, "Oh yeah, hey, you remember me? Yeah, hey, shake my hand." And the dude shakes his hand. That has got to be one of the stupidest scenes ever. What are you doing? Me and Danny were like, he's not gonna do this. Like, he's really not gonna do this. And then I was like, yep, he's gonna do it. And he really gave his hand to the Punisher. Like, bro, like what? I get it. You needed to find a way for him to get out. I just think you should have found a much more reasonable. Maybe the guy could have been like, "Hey, you know what, Frank? I'm on your side, man. If I let you out or something like that." But just to go trick him and I'm gonna shake his hand.
You let me out, take me with you.
That was the
Yeah,
Donkey of the
yeah,
Day
or
episode
something,
there,
you
brother.
know? Huh?
That was a Donkey of the Day episode there.
Yeah,
Not only that,
100%.
you leave him with one security person right there. You got Frank. You leave one guy.
Yeah.
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 With Frank, come on.
Yeah, 100%. And then you see, this goes to another thing that, and it's one of my biggest pet peeves in like movies and TV shows, right? You have the good guy or the whatever, the antagonist or the protagonist, whatever you want to call him, right? And you finally have him, and you decide to lock him up instead of killing him. You know what I mean? It's like they do with James Bond all the time. Hey, we got James Bond, we tie him up, and then we tell him our plan. And sure enough, James Bond gets away and he knows the fucking plan. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I love how they troll that to Austin Powers. Like, wait, you got a gun? Just shoot him right now. Come on, I got a gun. Let's go back. That's how we do things, son.
They've been doing that since the 1966 Batman and Robin. That drives me crazy.
Yeah, me too.
Have this sucker some kind of crazy device. No, yeah, I'm going to rob this and that and whatever. Really?
100%, Danny. It makes no sense. Like, and it's funny because it feels like that's the only way they know how to do a situation like this. You know what I mean? Maybe to get the good guy to figure out the plot or whatever. It's the only way they know how to do it is, hey, let's capture him, right? James Bond has been kicking your ass throughout the whole movie, and then right close to the end, you finally capture him, and you decide to put him in like a bed with a laser that's gonna cut him in half. Like,
It's so slowly go down.
It slowly goes down. Give him time.
No, Mr. Castle. I expect you to cry.
Because in Casino Royale, that guy was playing with James Bond. He put that poison in his drink. If he didn't make it to that car, he'd have been dead. So all of them ain't like.
But Danny, hold on. To your point, there was that part, but then they kidnap James Bond and they tie him up in the chair and they start hitting his nut. And first off, he would have been dead right then and there, because if a baby kicks you in the nuts, it hurts. And a baby has no power. They were hitting him with this like rope with a big knot at the end of it. Nah, that's not that's.
And he was still smashing movies after.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't be able to use that as much.
Use that
ever again, you know.
You can tell.
But that's what
you can tell Nzo's a dad because he used the baby to the groin. It's like, yeah,
dude, it's a little flick. It's gonna hurt.
Oh yeah, 100%. What were you gonna say, Danny?
I just saying, but I wouldn't even think about a woman after all that.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Because I remember, and that's why I said baby, because it happened with my son. You know, you had a little baby playing with him, and a little foot kicks up, boom, it's like, ooh, and it hurts. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Did you throw him after he did it? Like, no, you see the baby just go.
Wrong, but you know, I wanted to like, take this little mother effer out of my hand. You know, and the worst part about it, they do it and they're giggling and laughing. You know what I mean? You laughing at me, but
so,
yeah,
just wait till you get older.
Facts. I'm
well,
gonna kick you in your little nuts.
That's why I never looked at getting a vasectomy. Because my dad, when he came home from that, I kicked him. My mom told me that. And I know karma is just waiting for me.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%.
So I'm like, nope, not doing that.
Am I the only guy who's never got kicked in the balls?
Never?
So.
Yeah, I've never got kicked in the balls. I have four sisters. I have four sisters, and I've never been kicked in the balls.
Never?
No.
Well, be glad you never did, bro.
That says a lot of things. Because the sheer percentages of a man making it through their life as long as you have without.
Well, nobody ain't really checking on Eli's balls anyways.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said that says a lot about you.
I can't set yourself up by saying that.
Oh man. But yeah, at the end of the day, was there anything else I didn't like? I think that's about it. I think we covered it all.
This was the longest episode too.
Yeah, it was.
Full hour.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 54 minutes.
And that's what I'm saying. Like Brian said, it feels like it's all a build up to season 2. You know what I mean? And that was the problem. It's like they didn't know how to work in what the old writers did. So they fixed what they had filmed already and then took the last 2 episodes and we're going to make these ours. You know what I mean? So
But can we give it a pass since we're working under those conditions?
well, no, I give it a pass because I think I've seen a lot of movies like Justice League, right, where they did something like that and it was a total crap show. You know what I mean? Absolute total crap show. This wasn't really a total crap show. We always said that the writing was pretty good throughout the series. You know what I mean? Some of the episodes, nobody really hated them. So it wasn't like it was an absolute crap show. It was just you could tell what was changed and what's different and what wasn't. You know what I mean? It didn't flow. It didn't flow properly.
Yeah, Sunspots was disjointed.
Yeah, absolutely. The same thing with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right? Not Falcon and Winter Soldier. Brave New World. You know, it's the same thing with that one. I like Brave New World. You could see the differences and what they did this and where it's different that and that's one of the biggest problems with a lot of these shows where they do these reshoots and stuff like that. It's glaring. You know what I mean? Sometimes you'll see they do reshoots because, we need to add a little scene here, a little scene there. But when they're actually changing things around, and that's when it becomes glaring.
That's why I'm here for Fantastic Four. I heard they got some reshoots.
It had reshoots?
So that's what I'm hearing.
Every Marvel movie has always had reshoots.
Right.
Every single one has to have reshoots so far.
Yeah, they had a lot. They had to change a couple things at the end.
They did.
I know they added Robert Downey Jr. saying I am Iron Man. I didn't hear anything else major that they changed.
There were a few things.
Yeah, the scene with his father, when we went back in time, they changed that up a couple times. The fight between Hawkeye and Black Widow.
Black Widow, yeah.
Thor and Rocket in the palace. They had to do a couple different scenes that way. I know that
because I know at one point they were gonna because
there's one part they got left in. There's a can of beer there, unexplained. Just one 3 or 4 seconds. You see a can of beer by Thor. I'm like, wait, where did the beer come from? It's part of the reshoots.
Yeah. So they do it, but you see, that's the thing. When, like Danny said, if you go and watch Endgame, it's seamless. You don't know, right? Because sometimes it works with this didn't work. We're gonna reshoot this, say a few lines, right? But it still flows. This was totally 2 different shows. You can see that Justice League was 2 different directors that just destroyed that show, right? So sometimes reshoots work, and then sometimes when they're just like scrapping something and trying to salvage what they have and add more, that's when it doesn't work. And I think that's what the problem with this season was. And like Brian said, it is a build up to next season, which I think next season could be really good. Yeah. So, that's what I'm hoping for. Quick run through our grades and predictions for season 2. We'll start with you, Brian.
The episode, I give it a C+. The season itself, I give pretty much a C+, B-, same thing, because it's literally the entire season was a preview for season 2. They're like, hey, we're going to set up this character. We're going to go through the ups and downs of this character. We're going to go do all these things, and then we're going to give you this amazing storyline, because the storyline they're setting up is pretty damn good. It's really, really, really good. So, but the whole point of this entire season was going through the ups and downs to get to that. So I feel like that's all they really did. That's what they're going to do at the end, in the beginning of season 2. Season 2 might be one of the best things we see on TV next year. Too bad it's next year.
Yep. Hey, Tamika, Den, how you doing? Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. Let me go through some of these comments real quick because Tony's over here talking. He said Matt doesn't remember Peter, but he knows Spider-Man. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. They could reach out to Shaft and Pootie Tang. Really, Tony? Frank needs a micro for techno support. Micro back? Who's micro? Micro.
I have no idea what it means.
Matt somewhere hurting while Heather is getting in bed with Fitz smoking that bitch. You think Heather and Fitz are gonna do it? I know.
I think Heather's gonna do it with Daniel. I can see it.
Oh, interesting.
The true the true Muse. I
Muse?
think it gives you too much of a full circle of, hey, I went this way because Muse, and then I'll find out that I'm sleeping with the actual Muse the entire time.
You think they're gonna try to make her like a nutcase in this, like some sort of I can't remember what the nut. There's a few there's like a
Harley Quinn.
There's like a Harley Quinn in the Marvel universe. I can't remember what her name is, but something like that.
100%.
They might.
It might be interesting. Might make her might make her interesting. Maybe.
And we have one here for you, Chris. Are you sending Eli dick pics again?
No, I don't do
He
that.
probably is. He probably is. That wouldn't surprise me. JG,
God.
grades and predictions.
Ooh, so for this episode, I would give a B minus.
Okay.
At first, I gave it a B plus, but now I saw it again. I'm like, yeah, it's about B minus range. If I was gonna say about the whole season, if I'll compare this season to the some people believe the worst Netflix season of Daredevil, which is probably season 2 for a lot of people, I'll give this a D. I did not like this season. It had great moments, but as a whole, I just wasn't really feeling it. That's all. If it was for the watch parties, I would have stopped after episode 2, honestly.
So you're giving the season a D?
When I compare,
so what, you're giving the whole season a D?
If I compare it to the worst, pause after that. If I would compare it to the worst Netflix season, which a lot of people say is season 2, I would give it a D.
Okay.
On its own, I would give it a C plus.
But that should just go to show you how charming and powerful I am, Danny. Everybody wants to be like Ford. You know what I mean? It's not Mike anymore. It's Nzo.
I don't care if we drink Kool-Aid. Go right ahead.
You can drink it too. Don't worry. I got you next.
I'm good, bro.
Go ahead, JG.
We know predictions.
Yeah.
This is setting a lot of things up. I'm worried about the execution. Because what we've seen all season long was execution issues. Right? So I'm hoping the defenders, because I mean, all the roles, I keep saying point to it. But I'm not sure we're going to get the defenders that we are hoping we're going to get. Maybe they're going to replace some people with the swordsman and somebody else. Who knows? I just don't know. Like, why introduce Kamala Khan's name in there if you're not going to do anything with it? Right? So I just don't know, man. I don't know. Muse is on paper supposed to come back, but in what form? I mean, I just don't know.
I feel you. And I'm right there with you, because it seems to me like if they're setting up the defenders, it's going to be Punisher, Daredevil, and Bullseye, right? And whoever else, Karen, Foggy, if he comes back. But that's what it seems like they're doing with that. And I don't know if I'm going to like that. So we'll see. Eli.
Well, I give this episode a B. I give the season, this new Daredevil remake, reborn, whatever you want to call it, a B minus. It's a good attempt. It's really good so far. Like you guys kind of stretch it out. Like you're pulling an RTD, Russell T. Davis. You're getting a little nitpicks here, nitpick there, stretching things out, and we gotta wait till next season to find out what the hell did that mean on episode 2. It's like it feels like that's what they're doing. That's what they did for this season. And I kind of agree that they are setting up for Devil's Reign, the comic run, like I was talking to Brian earlier. And the Defender style, why introduce Kamala Khan's dad if they're not going to have her as part of the Defenders? If they're not going to have the actual original Defenders, you got Kamala Khan, you got that little Hawkeye girl, Kate Bishop, you got other Avengers, you got other hero types in there. And if they want to have the original Spider-Man in there, Matt can say some cops, and the cops will say, thanks for now you. First we had Spider, and before the guy finishes the word man, you hear a huge explosion. So they can get away with that. So I'm like, they can kind of talk the word spider and stop the conversation with the explosion nearby. Like, boom. They didn't say man, but Spider already knows it's Spider-Man. They can get away with that legally. They want to actually have him in the MCU officially on a TV show instead of a guy in a spider costume. Like, they can do that. Hello, hint. Fighters, you guys can legally do that.
They wouldn't do that. And there's nothing, Haley Steinfeld, there's nothing little about the little girl. That's just not a little girl.
Well,
Uh,
okay, well,
Yeah,
whatever.
after what we saw, no, yeah,
That's not a little girl, man.
Yeah, I know.
I was shocked about. I
I
was
know.
shocked to see all that. Good God.
And no, I don't think they're gonna bring Moon Knight in like they did in the comics because yeah, technically he's a street level fighter, but no, he's dealing more with mystical crap right now. So no, I don't think Isaac's gonna be on this part of the show. But yeah, I would say Jessica Jones at least Jessica.
I got you. Mr. Knight.
This episode I'll go a flat B, maybe a B minus, but I'll stick with B just because I like a lot of the different things going on. I like the violence, like the things.
Can you turn up your volume, Chris?
Yeah, hold on. Can you hear me?
Thank you.
I'm thinking that the series is probably a B also. It's just I see a lot of what Brian's saying about what they're trying to set up, the colorful picture they're trying to do, but the problem is you did kind of leave it on a weird note. It's almost like the little cliffhanger they gave us at the end of this one in the end credit scenes was like, that's what you're going to give us? You're not going to show, maybe a shadowy figure of Muse or show a shadowy figure of maybe perhaps Foggy or something like that. I don't know. There were better options to do. And then after that, like, I don't know, maybe, you have Foggy or somebody looking out the window or Muse looking out the window or looking in to see Frank Castle caught and then all of a sudden see him pull a guy into the thing. I don't know. There were better things they could have done, but I'll give it a B, both the series and the season. So
I got you. Danny?
I'm gonna give this episode a B minus, because it was missing some. It was a little underwhelming, but I'm gonna give this series a B plus, almost A minus, and the reason why is because we all agree that the writing was good. I'm gonna give them a pass because they had to go back and kind of fix something that was all crazy. So there's a little bit of disjointment there, but had the writers that came and clean up this mess, started it off, I think it would definitely been an A. Each episode, with the exception of the bank episode, had me want to see the next episode. To me, I think if you'd have taken that episode out of there, and it still would have been, you wouldn't have missed anything. So that's why I can't give it an A, because it was actually a filler episode in my opinion. But I think the Kingpin was excellent. The way he's playing chess the whole time, everybody's playing checkers. The name is actually very fitting of what we saw. Rebirth. We saw both of them being broken down. Well, one of them was actually broken down. The other one was acting like he was broken down, and then rebuilt back up, fighting each other, fighting their inner demons. One was actually fighting his inner demon. The other was faking like he was. And I really like that. So Rebirth actually sticks out to me. I think they actually did it. I'm actually interested in seeing what next season is going to be up to, even though that end scene credit was stupid. But it still has me wanting to see more of the dynamic between the Punisher and Daredevil. So if this episode was an A, I would give it an A minus. But because the episode was a little underwhelming, I can't give it an A. But I definitely give the series a B plus. And I think next season we'll see the Defenders. I think that Kingpin is gonna let Heather Matthew's girlfriend know who he is, and that she may have a change of heart, but I think she's gonna get killed. I don't think Bullseye is going to become part of the Defenders. I think we're going to see definitely Jessica Jones. We may see Luke Cage. I don't think we'll see Iron Fist. I just don't. But definitely be Punisher, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage.
Well, I hope not Luke Cage, but the way they played it out, to me, it seems like it's going to be Bullseye, right? Because Bullseye called Daredevil. Matt, he wanted to talk to him to save him, right? We're probably going to find out that Foggy isn't dead. So if that's the case, then I can see Matt saying, all right, well, let's work together and stop Kingpin, because Bullseye already said he has an issue with Kingpin. So the enemy
I
of
got
your
a, I got a question.
hold
I got a question
hold
for
on.
you
Let
guys.
me get through my stuff first, then you can ask your question.
Okay, sorry.
Episode. I am giving this episode a C minus. Right, the action was pretty good, but overall, I wasn't a huge fan of it. For the series, I'm gonna give the series another C, a C minus. Let's go with C. Let's go C. Right, because again, at the end of the day, I thought the writing was good. I thought the acting was good, but I just thought the story had way too much issues with it, and that's why I can't give it anything higher than that. Predictions. I do think that they are going to do something with the defenders. I think they're going to be new defenders. I don't think, like I said, I don't think they're all going to come back. I think it may be like Danny said, Jessica Jones. I could see her coming back. They've talked about her. Maybe Luke Cage, but I do think that Bullseye is going to be a part of it. I think Punisher is going to be a part of it, and I think Daredevil. So that's my predictions for the defenders. And next season is them going to be trying to take down Kingpin. That's what I have. Go ahead with your question, Eli.
Okay, when Frank breaks out Red Hook, do you think he's going to do it by himself, or do you think he's going to get help with the swordsman, since he's trapped in there with it, locked up in there with him? Because Jack is a smooth talker. He can talk his way out of anything except Kingpin's reign, but he can kind of sweet talk Jack and letting him out. Do you think he's going to do that, or do you think Frank Castle would just go all hell bets on every single person he sees and just walk out on his own?
I don't know. What do you think, Danny?
I have no idea.
Same here. Chris?
It could go anyone. It could go into any number of things, but anything's a possibility right now. They've left so many open.
Yeah, because why would they show him in there if they're not going to use him? Like, come on.
I
They
think when he
might.
get out, I think he's gonna let everybody get out of there, not just one person.
Yeah. But that could be another thing. Maybe Swordsman becomes a part of the Defenders too, right?
Exactly.
Because he's already there. So that could be a possibility. Make a good point with that, Eli. Joe Black said Heather has grown on me at the anti-Matt. Well, you're the only one, because I can't stand Heather. Frank getting out sets up his solo presentation. Yeah, it does, but the way it was done was absolutely horrible. And he said,
Yeah.
Cap, the writing is bad. The writing was bad. In some episodes it was, some episodes were good. You know what I mean? So, but at the end of the day, that's it.
Oh,
What's that?
I don't think the writing was bad at all.
I guess would say with some of the plot points and plot devices, yeah, but overall the writing is good. So I definitely give you that. But yeah, so that is it for Daredevil. I'm glad this is over, since we don't have to do this on a Sunday no more. Next Sunday I will be doing a watch party for The Last of Us, because that show is fire right now. So I'll be doing
I
that
got a
next
question
Sunday.
for you.
All right, go ahead.
Chris wants to know as well. Are you going to be doing an indoor roundtable?
Are you absolutely out of your mind?
I will be doing it. I'll be doing it. These guys over here won't be a part of it.
Okay, I was just wondering for the public, man. I had to ask, Chris.
I'm not even watching. I'm good.
JG, you gonna join that?
Hell no. I do not like that. I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't think it's as bad as Nzo makes out to be. It's just, it doesn't hold my
watching. Are you watching it?
Hell no.
Danny, are you watching it?
Nope.
Well, there you go. There you go. That's your answer, because I ain't watching it. The only two people on this panel watching it is going to be Chris and Elihu. And yeah, so
like I said, it's not a bad show.
No, I have not seen it either. I have not seen it yet. That's what I was just wondering. I was asking for Chris as well. Public.
So wait, you haven't seen the first season of Andor?
No.
Oh, Eli. No. So what the hell are you asking for? Matt and
Watch
Fisk,
the first season first before you go.
Just
you know what I
wondering.
mean? Matt and Fisk as
I
two
was thinking
sides of the
about
same
watching
coin
this.
was done in season 1 as traumatized son and father beat down by Hell's Kitchen. Yeah, exactly. That's why I said they did a lot of tropes from the first 2 seasons in this one. You know what I mean? They got rid of Karen and Foggy so that they could bring in the new people in, so that they could have that dynamic of finding out that he's Daredevil and one another. It really made no sense.
Yeah,
But
that female
Do
lawyer,
you,
she was useless.
do you think
absolutely.
everybody in the bar at the end knows that Matt is Daredevil? Or they think that Daredevil is there to fight an army, fight a war?
Because he put his mask on before he walked in there, so I don't know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, but people are there. Like, do they know that Matt's there? Because Josie kind of knows, and what it was hinting since season 3 that she knows, and
Only
Cherry
person that
knows.
know is Karen and Cherry.
Yeah, but it's
Nobody else.
been kind of hinted
Yeah.
that season 3 Josie knows that Matt's Daredevil. She doesn't. Yeah, it's been kind of hinted.
I don't think they know he's Daredevil. I don't think that. But again, they dropped the ball on that scene. You could have had, a hint to the defenders or a hint to this and that. Even if you couldn't bring them in, you could have had someone that looked like Luke Cage and Jessica Jones just standing there in the background,
Or
And it's like,
glowing
oh,
fist. Or glowing fist.
or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, yeah. You could do
Speaking of
something. Yeah.
glowing, when you see Angela walk, why did she not have the medallion on? That would have been the perfect time for her to have the medallion on. Maybe have
Yeah.
the eyes glowing or some crap on it. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, why show her if you're not? Again, the execution is what bothers me about the season.
I agree 100%. I don't know how everyone doesn't know that Matt is a superhero. How the F does a blind man take a bullet from anyone? It's to the point. No, I agree. And sometimes he walks into a room and he just walks in like he can see everything. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, wait a minute. You're supposed
Yeah,
to be
like the
blind.
ballroom thing. He just walked in, moving past people, like
Yeah,
just look,
yeah.
like what?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But that was it. We will probably be back for season 2. Thank God season 1 is over. But Mr. Graham, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
Find me on my channel, The Road to Wisdom, Mondays and Fridays, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Find me on the Hangout on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Sundays on Storms Live, and occasionally I'm on the OOC at Wednesdays, usually around about 8:30. Fantastic show, fantastic season. Like you said, we do it again next year.
Absolutely. Mr. Knight.
Real Review 3000, Chaos Central, Road to Wisdom, Big Board Entertainment, all of that. Anywhere you can find me, it'll probably be there, maybe. Yeah, but doing the Unmasking the Masked Singer stuff for another few weeks. And then I'm also slowly working on trying to figure out where we were with the Rumble, where we were with our Fact and Fiction, trying to get all the graphics and all the stuff up ready for that stuff. So hopefully we'll be back to that before too much longer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Elihu, where can they find you, sir?
You can find me everywhere, nowhere all at the same time. Or if you don't feel like looking there, you can always go online and look on X, Blue Sky, Instagram, various YouTube channels. And as a reminder, the Lyric Meteor Shower peaks tonight around 3 o'clock in the morning. If you have clear skies, don't forget to look up. If you do not, you can probably watch somebody stream it online if you're able to. But and also, you can also see it tomorrow night. Just look west. You should be able to see about 15 to 20 meteors per hour.
Yes, sir. And last but not least, JG.
JG Shaolin Terrific, the undefeated, undisputed final boss of the 36th champion Shaolin. What? Thank y'all for tuning in live for this season finale of the Daredevil Born Again Roundtable. Catch me Wednesday nights on the OOC with the host Nzo, aka the Abbott, and the Osiris of the the Spliff King, and the Professor of Gunja, alongside his co-host Roberto, aka Mr. 100, aka No Trouble Did Anything Gonna Be Irie. No woman, no cry.
Boop, boop, boop.
Also, check out Chris Knight on Chaos Central Rare Reviews. The knowledgeable one himself. Look at that handsome face right there. Who knows all things background. Trust me, he knows it all. That handsome devil, the last Don himself. This Kansas City Chiefs fucking hate that team. Fan of his. And I got it. Y'all know his name. Y'all know him. Look at that guy. Look at that guy right there.
There we go.
The
There we
amazing,
go.
the outstanding, the charismatic, always man of the hour, the man with the fashion sense that could turn any pauper into a prince. One of the finest, no, forget that, the finest police officers to ever grace these great United States. You hear me, Nzo? These great United States. Simplify himself. Show some respect. Show some love. Get on your feet. Are you not entertained? If you smell what Danny is cooking.
Now you see what I'm saying? You're muted, Danny.
That is the best one yet.
You see what I'm saying though? Like calling Chris, looking at Chris, but Chris is handsome, and then Danny is handsome, man. That was kind of suspect to me, JG.
That's because you the only ugly one on the panel. Don't mean anything. don't hate on our sex appeal, man. It's raw still sex appeal over here.
To me, that's not sex appeal. That's some gay stuff. You
and yeah, he didn't call me ugly. Thank you.
That's some gay stuff, bro. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? It looked like you.
Hey, all the girls think I'm pretty fly for a white guy. So
turn into a nut licker for Chris and Danny. But okay, I got you. I got you. It's all good. It's all good. I appreciate it.
Man.
Everybody, thank you guys for popping in. Much appreciated. It was a pleasure. Thank you. We'll be on the Spoiler Kings later on, talking about The Last of Us episode 2. So make sure to check that out. Like I said, next Sunday, I will be doing the watch party for episode 3. If you're not watching Last of Us, make sure you watch it and catch up, because oh my God, that last episode was fire. That was absolute fire. Wednesday nights, the OOC. Tuesday, we'll be talking some From with Brian the Grizzly, who had to step out. But yeah, make sure to check us all out. Everybody on here does some great stuff, and their channels are in the description. Yes, Eli.
Will we be ranking on Saturday?
I don't know, Eli. I will let you know. It's too early. But with that being said, guys, peace, love, and hair grease, and we will see you on the next one.
Inevitable.
Blind faith, I see the game in braille. Hell's Kitchen got the devil in the details. Red suit, but my sins stay pale. Shadow boxing with my past, never ring that bell. Echoes of crime and the echoes of footsteps. Preaching the streets while I'm dodging the death threats. Halo got horns when the system neglects. Law on my veins, but the pain my pretext. Flip like a coin, heads turn when I'm flipping them. Dancing on the edge, got the reaper in my peripheral. Gospel of the fists, every hit like a parable. Scripture in my stars, every cut unforgettable. Walk with the Lord, but I talk with the sinners. Breaking my bread with the wolves and the winners. Blind to the fear, but I see through pretenders. There with the devil, I dine with avengers. I've been ready to feast, Hell's Kitchen set the table. Fork in the road, but I'm steady staying faithful. Sins on my plate, but the chef